Okay guys, here's the door. This is the passenger side door. Now what I'm doing is I went ahead and removed this guy here. So you got stuff all over it. I pulled this off so we can prime it, but more importantly that we can prime in behind it. Right, it went right here. Welcome to Brown's Rod and Custom, your home for street rods, muscle cars, and Volkswagen content. This is my dad, Big Ron. He's our body man and fabricator. This is my beautiful wife, Megan, our editor-in-chief and supporter. And this is me, Adam, the designer and mechanic for our projects. If you find our videos helpful, like and subscribe for more content. Hey everybody, welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. Happy Monday. It is August 25th. It's about 11:40. And it's raining. Story of our life. So what we're doing now is Big Ron's doing body work on the back window area. Still doing the all metal thing, getting that dialed in. And I'm working on the door you see behind me here that's on the rack. Just starting to mess with that because we need to get that primed, and to do that a couple things have to happen. One, I need to disassemble the door. I need to take the cozy wing out, the window out, all that stuff, all the mechanisms, door handles, blah, blah, blah. Get all that out. So I'm starting to do that. I got the garnish molding off. That came out really easy. But I can't take anything else off until my tools show up from Amazon. So I'm kind of hurry up and wait for them to get here. So, and the reason for that is you've got the whatever they're called, not carriage bolts, but what do they call them things? Church bolts? I don't know. The figure 8 weird Chevy bolts that are in there that hold it, literally everything on this truck on.
Clutch bolts.
Clutch bolts. There it is. Clutch bolts. Clutch head bolts. Let's put it that way. So I'm waiting on those sockets to get here so that I can take this thing apart without having to, hopefully without having to, like, you know, cut it apart. We'll see what happens. Yeah. So, but in the meantime, I started to blow down the door because it had a bunch of cobwebs in it. And my God, the amount of sand in this damn thing from where we sandblasted is just incredible. The entire floor of the garage is sand right now. Yeah, not what I intended to do. So, but I kept blowing and blowing and blowing. I got a lot of it out, but there's still a lot in there. I think though, once I get everything pulled out, I'll stick the shop back down in there and try to suck as much of that out as I can, blow it out again, but maybe, you know, weather permitting, we'll take it outside and do it. Yeah, so new week. So it's Monday, so we need to kind of figure out what we're going to do this week. What are our goals for this week, right? And for me, it's to get parts primed, right? Epoxy prime, the bed sides, well, pretty much everything we have for the bed. The bed sides, the cross braces, the passenger door, both inside and out, and the dash pieces that we still have left, the glove box door, stuff like that. To get those metal conditioned and epoxy. That's goal number one. Because, you know, we don't want to leave bare metal stuff sitting out here very long, especially right now. It's ridiculous. Yesterday it was 84 degrees in the garage with 82% humidity. Yeah, so, and I think right now we're at like 79% humidity or something like that. So, you know, it's cooled off a little bit while it's raining, and then it gets super hot, and then it's like a steam bath. It's kind of weird, but anyways, need to get those epoxied. Also would like to have Big Ron there continue on his deal and maybe get some heavy build primer on the back of the cab, maybe that door jamb over there, and, you know, the inside up there, so we can start blocking that. So we'll continue body work on the cab, and continue prepping parts like that bedside right there. I still got to get it down to bare metal, and kind of go from there. So that's the plan for this week. Next week, well, what would it actually be? Let's look here. Let's look at a calendar. So we're going to order some parts on the 4th of September. I'm going to order the, probably from either Western Chassis or Performance Online, POL, the power brake unit for this truck. So basically what that's going to be is the under dash firewall mount, pedal assembly with the pedal, okay, that mounts up there. And then it'll also have the chrome 8-inch power brake booster with the dual master cylinder in chrome with the chrome lid, and it'll also have the proportioning valve and all the lines and all that, so that we can go ahead and get that mounted in, because we've got to drill holes in the firewall. So before we can think about really doing too much work on the firewall, we kind of have to have those parts. So that's step one. We'll get that going, and then 2 weeks after that, maybe sooner, I do want to get the back of the bed, and that way I can build the box. So yeah, and I'm sure there'll be a bunch of materials that need to be bought for bodywork and stuff, primers and this, that, and the other. So it's a very expensive job to have, not gonna lie. But when it's all said and done, it's worth it, and you typically would get your money back, so it's an investment. But anywho's, that's the plan for this week, is to try to get these parts ready and primed, doors disassembled, all the sand out of everything, garage cleaned up now that it's full of sand, and to continue getting body work done on the cab, and to maybe get some heavy build primer on some areas. That's what we're hoping to get done. So stay tuned. I'm gonna stop talking and start working, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay guys, here's the door. This is the passenger side door. Now what I'm doing is I went ahead and removed this guy here. So you got stuff all over it. I pulled this off so we can prime it, but more importantly that we can prime in behind it. Right, it went right here, that garnish molding. So the other things I need to take off, I need to take this cozy wing out, which is going to be some of this stuff here. This here for the window, I need to get the window and the track out. Probably pull this off too, honestly, and maybe even pull this off. Let's see where that goes. So got to disassemble this once I get the correct tools. So you guys can see here, that's the type of bolts I'm talking about. Look like figure eights, kind of. They're on everything. Going back in there, down in here. So without actually having the right tool, you're just not going to take this off. And if you look on the actual truck itself, they're on the striker, they're just all over. So I think that's all they used on this. So just waiting for that. When they get here, I'll start totally blowing this door apart, but that's kind of what I'm doing to the door as of right now. And as soon as I get this door done, depending on how that goes, I may or may not jump into the other door and just go ahead and get it torn apart. But that's a maybe, because when I cut the bottom of the door off to do the patch panels, I've got full access to everything in there, and instead of trying to fish it out the top, I can pull it right out the bottom. So I might just hold off on that, but we shall see. Oh, the other very important thing we got to take off is the door handle. Need to get that guy off of there. So, anywho's, stay tuned. That's what I'm doing over here, while Big Ron's doing his thing over here. He's inside the cab, you can barely see his head, but he's working on that back window, and we'll be back in a minute. Alright everybody, here you go. This is the driver's side bedside. Actually way better than I thought it would be. Cleaned up really nice up in there. Really, it's this here. That's the issue. The rest of this actually looks pretty good. I got a little hole here, not a big deal. I got a little rot right here. Otherwise, that's what we've got. I mean, you really can't be too upset about that. I can cut out this section here, keep this lip, most of it anyway. Probably cut it right here, and weld a piece of flat in there, and 18 gauge. There you go, done. So that's where I'm at right now. I got both sides done. Ron's sanding his life away in there on the cab, and more rain's coming. So what I'm going to do is get this into the back of the truck and the rack put away, and then get the Volkswagen brought back up here, and then we'll work inside the garage and start taking this door apart. So getting a lot of things done today. I did not think we'd get that bedside sanded down today, so that's huge. That's a big step in the right direction. You know, Ron's been killing it on this. This looks great. Starting to look like something. And, you know, everything's kind of coming together. We even got the tools we need. So, stay tuned. Here in about 5 minutes, we'll be right back here on this door, and we'll start tearing it apart, and I'll bring you all with me for that and show you how to do it. Stay tuned, guys. Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so here's the situ on the door. So a lot of these bolts are seized. We got a couple of them out. I got these two here out for the window regulator, and this one will come out. This one's got a piece of something broken in it from God knows when, like a screwdriver. And this one's pretty much stripped out. And these here for the actual, like the door, and I think these are holding the regulator as well, but these here are very soft. So what I've done is sprayed everything really well with PB Blaster, with this here, PB Blaster, and I'm going to let it sit overnight, let everything just soak in, and that's a penetrating catalyst, so it basically softens up any rust. It's kind of like WD-40, but probably better. So we're going to let that sit and come back to this in the morning and see if we can't get any of these to break free. And if not, we can always put a little torch to them, put a little heat to it, and, you know, do some persuading if we need to. But we're moving in a direction here. So Big Ron over here has been doing really well. We're starting to look really good on our back window area here. So really happy with that. Appreciate your run. And yeah, you know, the big news of the day was Ron's back window and this out here. We're in between thunderstorms at the moment. And this guy. So both bed sides are now completely down to bare metal and ready for metal conditioner, along with the cross braces. And then these here are those pieces that were on here where we drilled out. I just kept them. There's that bracket we cut off. So that's where we're at there. Everything's pretty much ready for metal conditioning, which I'll probably get into tomorrow as well. I feel like that's something that's coming pretty quick. You know, I feel like we're on track right now for our goal of, you know, midweek kind of thing, somewhere in there, priming all these parts, which is huge, because I mean, that's a ton of work. I got hours and hours and hours sitting here. I mean, you should see my shirt. It's terrible. But yeah, it's a nasty, dirty job, but we're saving it, and that's what matters. So yeah, really, we're just kind of waiting to let this all sink in and sit and Tomorrow will probably be a bastard, honestly, trying to get these off. It won't be easy. And I don't know if they've ever been out, to be completely honest. I've never had them out. So that'll be interesting. You know how it works. It only takes one bolt to make your day. You know, so a job that takes 5 minutes, it takes 5 hours. You know, that's kind of where it goes. So hopefully that doesn't happen and we can get this torn apart. And then we can start body working this door and welding up those holes and stuff and just really dialing this in. And I also need to get into some of these areas, like in here with the little right angle. Once I pull this out, it's a little nasty in there. You know, this comes out like so, and then you can see up in there. I gotta get up in there still, but you know, got some things in the way. So that's what we're gonna be doing, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. We're gonna wrap it up here. We really got lucky today with the weather at the end. Here in the middle, we got that couple hours where we could get that bedside done. That was huge. So thanks for watching. If you're watching this, please like and subscribe. We're moving in a quick direction here. I think we'll be doing quite a bit of priming here by the end of the week. Both parts with epoxy and probably the back of this cab and some things with some of the heavy build primer, so we can start blocking, and then things start to change and they start to look like things, and it starts to get the shape, right? And that's the world we're living in. So stay tuned. We'll bring it all to you, and appreciate you watching, guys. Thanks for the support, and we'll see you in the morning.